One of the most popular dishes in all Thai restaurants around the world is Thai fish cakes. So I thought I'd take the opportunity to use this cooking school to show you just how to make them. The one I'm going to make today though is slightly different in that I'm using a curry paste from the south. So I'm going to make that curry paste for you now. The thing that makes a southern curry paste quite unique is the use of peppercorns and turmeric. So it's quite a yellow curry paste. Firstly, what we're going to do is we're going to start with the turmeric and the harder ingredients first with a little bit of salt, and the salt will break down all of those ingredients. And then we finish off with the softer ingredients last. It takes a little while, a bit of pounding, but it's really worth the effort. Let's get started. Make sure that you always place some salt into the mortar and pestle first. This will help break down all the ingredients really well. About 1 tablespoon of white peppercorns, and then we add the chili. I like to use dried chili because it has a more smoky flavour and it gives it a deeper, richer red colour. Then it's time to add the lemongrass. It's very coarse, so make sure you pound it well. It's times like this that you wish you had a blender. It does make it a bit easier, and you can use a blender at home as well. However, the mortar and pestle does have a better texture and a better flavour, so I'm going to persevere. Finish it off with the red shallots, and then you're nearly ready to go. And now that all the ingredients have become a fine paste, we add our final ingredient. Kapi, shrimp paste, that wonderful southern ingredient. Just mix that in. Next we need to mix the fish cakes together. Now you can use whole fish and then use the mortar and pestle to break up the fish, but in Thailand you can buy it already ready to go. So what we've got here is the mackerel. Now mackerel is the best fish to use for fish cakes. It's a slightly oily fish and it will give it a much better, stronger flavour. Some snake beans, really finely diced, about ½ cup. Kaffir lime leaf, finely shredded, a good pinch, maybe 1½ tablespoons. Some sugar, just a small amount. You don't want them overly sweet, 1½ teaspoons is fine. Some finely shredded long chili, just to give it some colour and some texture. Some tapioca flour, about 1 tablespoon. A little bit of egg. What I like to do is break up the egg first so that you don't crack the whole egg in. That way you can add a little bit more as needed. Some fish sauce, touch of oyster sauce, and then the hero, the southern curry paste, about 1½ tablespoons. And then we get our hands into it and we beat it really well. This is really important because it develops the protein in the fish and it helps them bind really well. I'm just going to add a small amount more of the flour just to help it bind a little firmer. You can always add these ingredients as you need until you've got the perfect texture to form the fish cakes. While the oil's heating up, I'm going to show you a great way to add extra flavour to one of our favourite Thai sauces, sweet chilli sauce. I think in Australia we use it on everything, even chips and wedges. Anyway, some sweet chilli sauce, about 1 cup. Some extra hot fresh chilli. Finely diced shallots, pinch of salt, and some finely sliced cucumber. Mix that together and we'll put that over the dish at the very end. Oil looks right, so I'll show you how to make the fish cakes. Now there's a few different ways you could do this. In Thailand they use their hands to make them, but if you don't feel comfortable making them like that, you can do what we call a quenelle, where we use a spoon, a wet spoon, take a small amount of the mixture and then form it into a quenelle shape. You can then drop that quenelle shape straight into the wok, straight into the oil, and it will fry. In Thailand, wet your fingers, take a small amount of the fish cake mixture and just roll it into a ball and then flatten it. The mark of your fingers on there is quite traditional. In fact, if you see fish cakes with the 3 prints on there, you know they're handmade. Drop them really carefully into the hot oil. And then repeat the process. In the restaurant, we've had a few customers who haven't want their fish cakes fried in oil. And if you steam them, you wouldn't believe just how good they taste freshly steamed. We'll let those fry, and when they're golden brown, we'll take them out and place them onto some paper towel to drain. The fish cakes don't take long to cook. Just flip them over from time to time, but don't have it on too high a heat. It will just go too brown too quickly. Once they've puffed up and floated to the top, remove those onto some paper towel. Over here, I've got another plate with some finely shredded red cabbage, green cabbage, and some carrot julienne as well. Take the fish cakes and just place them down the line. Take the sauce and just nappe that over the top. Some crushed peanuts just sprinkled over the top of the fish cakes. A couple of wedges of lime just to add some fresh acidity at the end. Some of those beautifully carved cucumber leaves. Some red chilli for garnish, and a little bit of picked fresh coriander on the top. Beautiful to eat on a nice warm summer's day with a glass of white wine or maybe a nice crisp beer. My take on Todd Blair Thai fish cakes. This beautifully polished wooden longtail boat is today's transport, rocketing me around the stunning Krabi cliff faces towards the beautiful Railay beach. And what an amazing beach this is. Back home, my friends at the Thai Tourism Authority suggested that I come here to participate in a popular sport that Railay Beach is famous for. Serious adventurers come here in droves on a regular basis, as the island has a reputation for great facilities and a brilliant safety record. I've come here to the Railay rock climbing shop to get fitted out with all the equipment I need. Helmets, shoes, harnesses and ropes. What am I getting myself into? Well, I'll leave it up to my qualified instructor to take good care of me. Railay Beach is one of the best places in Thailand to go rock climbing. I've never done it before, but I'll give it a go. Okay, so a 108 kilo Aussie bloke going vertical? Let's do the math. Well, they say it's all about positioning, getting the legs to do the work. Find a nodule the size of a pea and put all of your weight and faith on it, and you might just make it. My arms are burning, but I think I'm nearly at the top. Maybe a bit further to go. I can do this. I have to admit, I'm having so much fun, I really don't want to stop. I never give up a challenge. The girls over there are making it look easy. So after a bit more persistence, I finally made it to the top, and the view was spectacular. It was time to head off to my next destination for the day. So many wonderful things to do in Krabi. My next port of call was a few miles up the Krabi estuary, where all of the local fishing villagers come to retire for the evening. And my guide Nancy has taken me to one of her favourite places to eat, where the seafood is as fresh as you can get it. This is Ranahan Ma Ying, which is the Ma Ying restaurant, which is floating, literally, on this estuarine river here with all the mangroves surrounding us. It's unbelievable. And right behind me are these ponds with live fish swimming around, and the restaurant here just take them from the water and cook them for you fresh. It's unbelievable. Restaurant Ma Ying backs onto Koh Klang Island, a very unique tourist destination that I can highly recommend. It's not a paradise of white sandy beaches, Rather, it offers great opportunities to cherish a simple life by the sea, enjoy natural peace, meet local people and observe traditional local life. Life in Koh Klang is an intriguing tapestry of ocean and rice paddy, interwoven with family, faith and local wisdom passed between the generations. It seemed that every 100 metres I travelled, I came upon something completely unique. Right here on Koh Klang, in front of this incredible rice field, these birds that are in the cage are called bulbul birds, and they are actually a prize bird. And they say whichever bird has the loudest singing voice will win the competition. And the reason why the owners have them out here in these cages is the natural sunlight will kill any mites in the feathers. They say that these birds can fetch anywhere from 10,000 up to 100,000 baht each. There are no cars on Koh Klang Island. Local tuk-tuks, motorbikes and bicycles are the 3 vehicles allowed to use the one cement road. The only road on the island runs through all 3 villages from Kalepia to Lam Kam on the other side of the island. It's worth travelling around the island. There are local artists creating beautiful fabrics and knickknacks. There are also many wonderful local foods to eat. One of the local snacks that's made here was just fascinating to watch. This young girl was an expert and I enjoyed just sitting back and watching the master at work in her little family-owned shop on the island. Kap Nong. This wonderful little snack is roti sai kai, and handmade roti using wheat flour and then fried on a very gentle heat with fresh egg and then flipped and then finished off with some condensed milk and sugar. It's so simple, but it's a really sort of once in a blue moon, really yummy treat. It was time to leave the village and head back to the mainland. I was going to get involved in a fantastic cooking lesson. The chef at the Sofitel Krabi was doing a cooking lesson showcasing a special prawn salad, so I decided to join in and see what his secret was. He started by explaining how Thai food has to be balanced with salty, sweet and acidic flavours. He started by adding 2 tablespoons of nam bla or fish sauce. To that, he added 2 tablespoons of freshly squeezed lime juice to balance with the saltiness of the fish sauce. Then he added a tablespoon of nam prik pao, which we call toasted chili jam, to add some richness and a smoky sweet flavour. 1.5 tablespoons of finely sliced lemongrass. This will add a nice fresh tang and also a unique texture to the dish. Then chef added 1 whole cassette chilli that he had finely sliced, 1 large red shallot sliced, and then a good pinch of chiffonade kaffir lime leaf to give a whole new dimension of flavour. Stir it well, and then it's time to add the prawns. The prawns have just simply been peeled with the head removed and then blanched in boiling water for 2 minutes until the meat is just set. Allow the prawns to come back down to room temperature for 5 minutes and then they're ready to go. Stir the dish well to combine the flavours and allow the juice to go deep into the prawns. Present it on a plate, allowing the prawns to stack nice and high and make sure all of that juice goes onto the plate. Garnish the dish with fresh mint leaves and coriander. And there you have chef's delicious prawn and lemongrass salad with toasted chili jam and lime dressing. It was time to leave Krabi behind and head 3 hours across to the east coast to Nakhon Si Thammarat. Nakhon Si Thammarat is a wonderful town rich in food culture and an interesting cafe scene with a unique brew that I was just hanging out to taste. This is Cafe Buran, which is one of my absolute favourite treats in Thailand. And this machine is so beautiful. It's just got hot water inside, 2 channels, one for coffee and one for tea. And they even take the time to care enough to have preheated cups back here on the back of the machine. They literally just take boiling water, scoop it into these cloth bags, which are holding coffee grind. This one here is 100% coffee. However, you will find other shops around Thailand mix it with things like peanuts and soya beans just to give it some bulk. So make sure you ask what's in it first. After the coffee's been brewed, they just pour off the coffee into the cups, finish it off with condensed milk, and then you're done. Tea's very similar, comes out a red colour, and that's from a natural food dye that's in the tea. But it really is quite cool. Cafe Buran literally means antique coffee. I'm going to have one of these in this beautiful shop right here in Nakhon Si Thammarat. Oh, Kokan Kap Nong. Wow, I've been waiting for this. This is called Khao Niao Benjarong, which means sticky rice in 5 colours. It's really quite beautiful. This one here has been coloured with some butterfly pea, this one with turmeric, this one with pandan, and these 2 are both natural black and white sticky rice. And then they're topped again with an egg custard, some crispy fish, some coconut with prawn, and then some crispy pork. It's so unique to this shop, so unique to this area. I've never seen anything like this back home. And the textures are lovely. What a great way to start the day. This family-run cafe adjoins a few other eateries which were built by transforming the previous horse stables from the mayor's residence into a thriving food location. It's quite unique and very efficient. The influence of Chinese food is very apparent in the south. There is an amazing array of handmade yum cha, from pork balls to minced chicken and mushrooms. Wonderful fillings stuffed into bread buns and then steamed over these huge yum cha steaming stations. It's quite a special way to cook and very efficient. The father of the family-run business is a master of one of the South's most popular pastry items. I just had to go and ask his permission for a lesson. I've always wanted to know how to make these properly. Chinese donuts are called il ja gui, and if you don't know how to say it when you come to Thailand, it doesn't matter. Just read the sign here, it tells you exactly what it is. And I'm here with the master called Sawadi Khap. Sabadi Mai Khap. Pen Kru Pom Khap. Okay, Khap. So I've got to have a go. The master here has shown me how to do it, and it really is a bit of an art form. So I've got my head bandana on, so I'm ready to go. Okay, all you need to do, you need to cut this lovely dough about 1 inch thick. This has got yeast in it, and it's also got a little bit of sugar and various other things, including flour. We stretch that out like that. Okay, mate? And we cut that in half. Give that a little bit of a stretch. A dab of water along the body. And then on top. And then 3. Some here. 1, 2, 3. Another stretch. And into lovely hot oil. And then they fry. They puff up. They become golden and lovely. And you can eat these just dipping them into condensed milk or in Chinese porridge, so rice porridge in the morning. Eating with that is fantastic. Tamahan niกี่ปีแล้วครับ 70 ปีแล้ว Wow. So he's been doing this for his whole life. 3 generations prior to him, in fact. What a pleasure to be here making Chinese donuts in Nakhon Si Thammarat with the master of Chinese donuts. I've just come to get myself a coffee and I saw these. These are called Luk Chup. Now, the first time I saw these in Thailand, I actually walked past them. They're so delicious. I used to think they were marzipan until I found out what they really are. What they do is they get dried mung beans, and boil them until they become a paste. And then they cook them further in a wok with coconut milk and sugar, and then they roll them into whatever shape they like. And they're sort of moreish, you can't stop eating them. Then, after they roll them into these shapes, they hand paint them with food colouring, and then they dip them in gelatin, and they get this lovely, shiny edge on them. They're so quirky, so different. I want to show you how to make one of the most simple things in Thai cooking, but it's one of the most important things to have as well: ground toasted rice. Ground toasted rice can be used in lap, so a lap salad. It adds an amazing flavour and also crunchy texture. You can add it to dipping sauces to give it a unique flavour, or even to a curry to slightly give the curry a better mouthfeel when you eat it. Anyway, so easy to do. I've seen different types of ground toasted rice. I've seen it used with jasmine rice or also with the sticky rice as well. Completely different. The jasmine rice has slightly more perfume to it, and the glutinous rice has a slightly different texture, more thickening agent to it. Anyway, really easy. In a pan, no oil, nice and dry. Today I'm going to mix the two together to give me the benefit of both. So we're going to add here our glutinous rice, about half a cup. I'm not going to make too much. And the jasmine rice, again, half a cup. And on a very low heat, just stir that in the pan. And that's it. It took a while, but it is worth the time. Pour that into the mortar and pestle, and then we start to pound. And there you have it, ground rice. Add flavour to your food. Next episode, I head deep into the forest of Nakhon Si Thammarat to cook a couple of special seafood dishes for you, and also one to share with the locals.